Welcome to my show. It's a guest here. His name is Amadou Camara. Mr. Amadou, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing today. I'm doing good, thank you. Yeah,
Yes. Thank you so much for the time and the opportunity, Mr. Amadou.
yeah.
Firstly, you are an author. You are also an architectural designer. Can you please, Mr. Amadou, discuss more about yourself and how you are doing currently now, Mr. Amadou?
Well, Tammy, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm really glad that I'm here today. And I am an architecture designer and I live in the US. But I'm originally from Guinea, Conakry, which is a West African country. Most people actually know this. And I came to the US around 2013. And when I came to the US, I struggled a lot. First of all, we all know that Guinea is a French-speaking country,
Yeah.
and when I came here, I had to learn English, so that that was a very hard thing to do. But I was determined to succeed in America, and I had to, really like discipline myself to learn the language so I can go back to school because a lot of people who come when they come to the US, that's the first thing that actually they struggle with language barrier. So then I went on and studied architecture, and currently I'm based in Madison, Wisconsin, and I am working as an architecture designer. And just recently, I decided to release my book called Climbing the Hill, which is a personal memoir that actually talks about what's life like in Guinea, in Africa. And then after that, like the immigration journey and how I came to America. And then after that, like how I was able to use that opportunity to go back to school and learn English. So that book is out and it's available on Amazon and many other platforms as well.
I totally understand. And that is the beauty sometimes. Sometimes we just have to go out and hustle and just live a life of determination, which you've done.
Hmm.
Because it
Yeah.
also gives the sense of courage towards a lot of people that no matter where we find ourselves, we can definitely, with determination and doing the right thing, we can actually achieve a lot. Beautiful things. And I'm also glad, a guy from West Africa going to the United States is tremendously uneasy. I know I'm in Africa and I know how tough it I know how it is here. So I don't understand how tough it is when you go there and how tough it will be when you were struggling during those time in 2013. And
Yeah.
that is why I would like to drive to your book,
Hmm.
Climbing the Hill. Can you
Yeah.
please just, I know you've discussed about it earlier, but can you just please drive more towards that book? And do you also plan to write more books in the coming future, Mr. Amadov?
Um, yeah, the book is actually about like the unseen ones. And like I said, like the idea of like how a child grow up in Africa, like with poverty and without like, the day-to-day struggles and also not being able to learn English. And we really you really have to be resilient to go through, what I went through, that the process itself. So the book is about the unseen ones and it's also about perseverance and resilience and just proving that if you are strong enough to continue through your day-to-day struggles, you will persevere, and life is about consistency. So that's what the book is arguing you, and the book argues you that no matter where you come from, no matter your background, you have the ability to change your life. So that's what book is arguing you, and that's when you read the book, you actually will be able to take a look at your own life of struggles and be able to determine where would you go from there. Because if you see the stories that I told in the book and the struggles that I endured, and then you will be able to determine what you would like to do with your life. Because at the end of the day, you are the architect of your own personal life. So, uh, in the future, to answer your question, in the future, I do have a book that I would like to write again. So I have in mind. It's gonna be something related to my daughter, and I would like to get that out. But right now, currently, I'm not working on it too much, but I started it, but not finished yet. So,
Thank you so much for the beautiful insight. And that is the beauty of the life we found ourselves. We will definitely face trouble. We will definitely chase issues. We'll definitely face triumphs, ups and down.
yeah.
And things are going to be
Hmm.
really tough for us at times. And we do not have an excuse to go outside the box and do whatever we want to do. We just have to stay strong and focus on the right things. And the goal will
Yeah.
come when the time comes. And that is why I would like to dive to many people carrying unspoken hardship from childhood or early life. A lot of people are in a position whereby they believe that when I have this childhood issue, I had this childhood trauma, things are difficult, I want to just live the life in the other way. But the real goal of a person comes with persistence, determination, no matter how difficult things are, which you've done, Mr. Amado. So,
Hmm.
how can listeners begin to reframe their struggles as potential sources of strength rather than lifelong burdens, Mr. Amado?
Thank you, Tammy. For me personally, like for a very long time, I always believed that my past was something to hide from, like a weight that I carried in silence. Growing up with hardship taught me to survive, and we all know, like, if you grow up in Africa, like, the struggles and like, the day to day, like, you have to survive sometimes, but not like it didn't really teach me how to see value in what I like the things that I've been doing or the things that I've been taught to do or the stuff that I've been through over time. So I began to understand that struggle isn't just a scars, it's a kind of schooling. It teaches you about resilience, about compassion, and about the quiet power of endurance. To reframe your path, you have to stop asking, why did this happen to me? Or why is this happening to me? And you really have to start asking, what did this teach me about myself? Because that's where you find the real power of taking that and turning that into something more beautiful and more purposeful, and that shift, even if it's small, it changes everything for you. So your pain doesn't just disappear, but it stops being the whole story itself.
Thank you so much for this beautiful insight. And that shows that no matter how hard, no matter how tough things are, we can definitely get through the path. And I also do agree with you, with the way Africa is, it is really tough. I do really respect people who are from this continent, which I am also stay into. It is not easy, it is really tough. And
Yeah.
that is the beauty, how we can survive no matter how we find ourselves. We just need to stick
Yep.
keep carrying on, staying strong, and showing the sense of strength no matter the circumstances we find
Hmm.
ourselves. And also, I would
Yeah.
like to dive to people who feel like they have been stuck. Now, people are you've spoken about people with unspoken hardship now. Some people are
Hmm.
in a position whereby they are stuck.
Mm.
Healing, we know healing is not linear. It is not linear. It's something that takes step and it takes a journey. But from
Yeah.
the experience you've had, what do you think is the advice you will give to someone who feel stuck in the cycle of hardship and doubt, whether healing is possible for them in the first place, Mr. Amado?
Wow. Such a deep question, So from the level of trauma that I've experienced back home and then moving to America and then experiencing hardship in America, I would say that pain, especially when it stems from deep loss or trauma, doesn't disappear or just, because you have changed location or found new opportunities. So when I moved to the United States, I brought my story with me as well. And I carried grief, silence, and memories. I didn't just, it was so intense that I didn't know what to do when I came here, But what helped me transform that pain into purpose was allowing myself to feel it fully and not deny it, not rush through it. So I found healing in honest conversation, in writing, in architecture, and in reconnecting with my roots, and sometimes like listening to myself and the things that I would like to do and the things that I would like to achieve. And you can actually begin by asking yourself, if you are grieving, you can begin to ask yourself, what are you grieving? What are you grieving? And also, how can I create something from this? And then you will see like purpose often comes from the very ones we try the hardest to ignore. So that's what helped me the most, and that's the reason why I also wrote the book, because I had all this wounds that I carried for past trauma and all those things. I was like, in order for me to heal, I need to break the silence. I need to write about it and I need to feel it. And many people who read the book actually they told me they were able to see the struggles and the pain in the book.
I totally agree, Mr. Amado. In the life we have to learn to be observant.
Yeah.
Observation is very important as a step in our life. As you said earlier,
Mm,
discovered you know how to write. You discovered you know how to place some architectural designs. And that is the beauty. No matter the position we find ourselves on earth, we have to know who we really are, what we are good at, what we can do to make a positive impact on the society.
yeah.
When we know that, then we know how we can know how to navigate and see how we can use that to be productive in the society we find ourselves. So no matter where we are on earth, struggles will come, triumphs will come, pain will come, but there is no reason for us to feel stuck because we do know what we are into and we know where we are going. So there is
Yeah.
nothing we need to think about. We just need to keep moving forward since we know what we love and we see where we are going. Also,
Hmm.
Mr. Amado, I would
Yeah.
like to dive to something very, very important: community,
Hmm.
mentorship. Those features also help in some many ways, in some areas in life, most especially in a time where things are very tight and there's a very
Hmm.
huge pressure due to the social media Gen Z generation we have today.
Hmm.
Community and mentorship can make a very huge difference in overcoming adversity.
Hmm.
How do you think the listeners can seek out or even create the supportive relationship they need to move forward in their life and become more better with the career they think they want to build in their life, Mr. Amado?
Yeah, like you said, community is really important. Finding something that you really like and then connecting with those people will be like a lifesaver. Absolutely, I agree with you. So for me personally, like when I was growing up, I know that a lot of people from our continent, from our beautiful continent, we don't necessarily have a role model growing up, or even like to talk about like emotional support while we are growing up, and then like in many in our culture, like in many African families, like vulnerability is not even something that's encouraged in the culture, and it is seen as something like weakness.
Hmm.
But if you learn that healing often requires witness, for example, like people who see you, that's where the community comes from. People who see you, people who remind you that your story matters no matter what. And sometimes you just have to be willing to go to an extra mile to find those people. And oftentimes, you have to become that person for you, for yourself, because if you do not engage in the struggles of your own battles, no one will help you. So in order for somebody else to help you, you have to in the struggles of your own battles. And most of the time, people don't want to do that. And it's easy to procrastinate or say things or you don't want to things, but you have to be willing to do it in order for you to in order for something to work out for you. So that's what I would say for that.
Thank you so much for the insights. Honestly speaking, community is something we really need. It's beautiful. We have to have it around us to also help us by the way in times of trouble, in times of triumph. And if we can help ourselves in such circumstances and some issues and some areas like that, then we can try our best to also move forward, create and also seek out to people when we have people around us and also gain relationship that we need to grow as well. Also, I would like to drive to people who acknowledge their past struggles. Mr. Amado, I don't know. It was really tough for you when you were in Guinea and the West Africa during that time. And to look back at those struggles, it could make someone be in a position whereby they will feel pressured because when someone starts to think about it, it's not always easy. Now they want to be in a position whereby they want to move forward. They want to be open for the future. They want to continue to strive for the future. They don't want it to be a reason why they feel down most of the time. So, how do you think the listeners can balance acknowledging their past struggles while still moving forward into a hopeful future, Mr. Amado?
Interesting. So sometime in life, Tammy, you're absolutely right. Like there are seasons in our lives that we felt like we are just surviving. And even sometimes it felt like it's too much. And, you know, we have to understand one thing. Healing is deeply personal and it is profound, but it's not linear, you know. Some days you feel like you have moved forward, and other days you feel like you are right back to where you started and wondering like how am I going to survive when everything is stacked, when everything is going wrong and when everything is going when things are going in the wrong direction. So, if you can find a way to move forward, my personal advice that really helped me for me, and if you are anyone out there who's feeling stuck, is that don't confuse stillness with failure. Sometimes you are healing even when it doesn't feel like it. You need to give yourself some grace and let time and your small routines hold you. Whatever you are doing, it's not the big steps that actually matters in life. It's the small bricks that you are laying, the foundations that you are laying down every brick by brick. That's what's gonna build the house that you would like, that you envision to live in the future. So you don't have to rush anything. You are not behind. You are just a human being. So that itself, there's power when you know how to just follow the process that you are building for yourself. So, um, and I would also add that sometimes it's very hard to imagine anything different when we are stuck, you know?
Yeah.
So we ha we have to hold on. And we have to hold on to positive thoughts as well, like saying like, I'm capable of doing this, I'm capable of doing that. And that itself has power. Instead of just like the stuff that you tell your mind can actually influence how you behave, how you react to the world itself. That's why they always say positive energy attracts positive energy, negative energy attracts negative energy. So you have to be in a positive mindset, see a different feature, see a positive feature for yourself.
Thank you so much for the beautiful insight, Mr. Amado. That shows
Yeah.
that we in our life we need patience. We need
Mm-hmm.
our mindset to connect with ourselves because, as you said earlier, we might not even know that we are healing when we are actually healing. And that is the journey. We have to make sure that we are patient enough to take things very, very slow and make sure that we are seeing the progress by the way. Because we know the struggles, and now we are checking on the future. So getting the slow piece and looking at the future by the way is something that will help us along the way to grow and make us become more better. And also positive vibe, positive energy. What we say to
Hmm.
ourselves is what we actually come to. But if we say we are not good enough, then we'll not be good enough. We have to continue
Absolutely.
to install positive words to ourselves. No matter how things are, sometimes things will not even go well. Sometimes a week, 2 weeks, things will just not even go well. Sometimes we feel unhappy. Those are seasons. It can't be like that for life. It's just a season in life. We shouldn't use that as an excuse to say
Hmm.
words to ourselves. We should continue to give ourselves positive energy, positive words, positive things that will help us grow and become more stronger so that the triumphs we find in our life won't weigh us down. I would like to
Hmm.
go back to your book, Mr. Amadou, Climbing the Hill. I
Sure.
know it is a memoir of your personal journey,
Hmm.
but if there is one lesson that you think you can just take from the book you'd would like the listeners to take from this book, what do you think it will be? And if a listener could walk away from this conversation with just one message, what do you think you will want it to be about turning hardship into strength, Mr. Amado?
Uh, the message that I would like to tell um, a listener, if I could tell, if I could leave a message, it would be this. Your story, no matter how difficult it is, it's not a death sentence for you. It is a seed, and seed grow in the dark before they rise. So whatever you've been through or you have survived, it has not disqualified you from anything. It has prepared you for any hills that you will be climbing in the future. So the hills that you are climbing right now are proof of your weakness and your strengths. It is evidence of your power. So keep going. You don't have to climb fast.
Yeah.
You just need to keep up with the pace that you are going to. So you just have to keep moving. That's the message that I would tell them to do. Just keep moving. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. So,
Thank you so much for the beautiful insight. We just need to keep going because every single one of us on earth are different. We have different views, we have different way we see things, and that is why because of we had a situation with one person or one area shouldn't be a reason for us to have this sense of restriction. We have to continue to keep moving, keep trying, and keep making sure and giving the sense of hope, because if that it was when we start to keep trying, keep moving, keep doing what we know we are doing, that is when the gold comes in. And the gold
yeah.
doesn't come in very easily, it takes time. And that is why
Hmm.
we need persistence, patience, and we should continue to just do what we know we are doing, piece by piece, piece by piece, piece by piece. Then when the time comes, the light comes in. Thank you so much for the beautiful insight, Mr. Amado. Also,
No
there is a
problem.
question I normally ask during the end of the show. From our forefathers, from our ancestors, there are a lot of beautiful things that do exist during our ancestral time that is missing in our time today. If there is anyone or anything you would like to bring back to our time today, Mr. Amado, what do you think that thing would be, Mr. Amado?
If there are anything that I would like to bring
Mm,
back today is for people to believe in themselves and to become much more resilient people. Because in life, like we did, like all the things that we talked about here today, is that this world will shake you.
mm,
You know, the way the world is designed is like we as human beings, like we go through so much and we suffer and we go through a lot of different, we have emotions, like, right? So no matter what we are dealing with, we have to be strong enough to face things head on. We have to be strong enough to be able to accomplish everything that we set our mind into. So be much more resilient. and have more faith. Be faithful, much more resilient, and be a strong mindset person. A weak mindset person will not achieve anything in life. So your mind has to be strong enough that you have to believe that you can handle everything, that any challenge or any obstacles that you will encounter in your future. So that's what I would like for people if I have to bring things back like that, because I know there were some very strong mindset people that lived before us, which is the reason why we have a lot of things that they created for us, like, right? So you have to be very disciplined. You have to be a leader in order for you to create those things, because you cannot be weak. Or, a lot of people, if I think about here in America, for example, like, a lot of people who are starting businesses, or they're like starting whatever, like they're starting to grow a business, or people in the past who developed businesses, right? So they were denied multiple times. Think about KFC, for example. He was
Mm.
denied 100 times. Talk about it. So if you don't have like a very strong mindset and resilient person, you will give up. You'll be like, yeah, that's what I was saying. Keep climbing no matter what, no matter how hard it gets. You just have to push. You just have to take one step at a time, and then another step, and then another step until you get to your final destination. So,
Thank you so much for
yeah.
the beautiful insight. You said a lot when it comes to the world we find ourselves, and we need to continue to thrive and continue to stay strong. That is all. We
Yeah.
have to continue to stay strong because this world will shake us. No matter how positive we want to do things in life, we have to face reality. Reality will come in. But it is how strong we are that will show how we could go far and how we could get to the final ground. That is the golden ground, the final
Hmm.
destination. And I also want to use this opportunity, Mr. Amado, to thank you for the time, the opportunity on speaking on your book, and also the beautiful insight you've brought out. And I'm so glad you actually conquered every single triumphs, ups and down. You're still strong, and every single thing is now an inspiration to others to also motivate and also do as well to also become productive in the society they find themselves. Thank you so much, Mr. Amado.
No problem. Thank you so much. I'm very happy that we connected, and I'm actually extremely happy and very grateful for the opportunity and the beautiful, thoughtful questions that you ask and your insight as well. So it's been a pleasure for me.
All right. Have a wonderful day, Mr. Amado. Bye
No
bye.
problem. Thank you. Bye bye for now. Thank you.